Okay, last video we have seen different types of propeller shafts, universal joints we have seen. Now in this video we are going to revise what we have learned during the last three videos in these videos, and also we are going to discuss what is differential, as here a differential in rear is mounted on the rear axle in rear drive vehicles. Here the, as we have discussed in the previous videos, the power is transmitted from gearbox to propeller shaft to this differential. Okay, here is the propeller shaft's connection to this differential. This is the casing, and the power is transmitted to this rear axle and rear axle to wheel. Here and here you will observe that these are moving. Okay, animated video of differential. Now we will see what is the important function of the differential. Okay, when the differential will be in use, suppose the vehicle is traveling in a straight path, then there will be the both wheels, front wheels and rear wheels, inside and outside, are having the same distance with same speed. Okay, but when the vehicle is turning, at that point what's happen? When the vehicle is turning, then the inner wheel is to travel less distance as compared to outer wheel, or we can say that outer wheel has to travel more distance as compared to inner wheel. Okay, and at that time for front wheel, there is this wheel rotates freely with stub axles, and they can rotate independent on each other. But for rear wheel, or where the power wheels like rear wheels, it is not possible. That's why you have to make some different arrangement, and that arrangement is known as differential. Okay, here the arrangement is such that you will observe that here the inner wheel and this is the outer wheel. This outer wheel has to transfer, or it should travel more distance, means it requires more power. In differential, you have to make an arrangement in such a way that while taking a curved path, inner wheel is a shorter path as compared to outer wheel, and that should be fulfilled by the differential. And this power of the propeller shaft passes on to these two axles. Okay, here what we do, the differential is basically the rear axle is split in two halves, and each half carrying one wheel. Okay, here the power from propeller shaft passes onto these two axles, half and half, one wheel carrying the half halves, and through the differential, the differential enables the rotation of one at lower speed as compared to other. Okay, means due to this arrangement or splitting of the rear axle in two parts, there is able to achieve differential enables the rotation of at lower speed. One at lower speed means inner wheel will rotate slowly as compared to outer wheel. Okay, here we will see the animation so that you will understand what is the construction. Here is the propeller shaft, and to the bevel gear, this is the crown wheel. Here shown the crown wheel, and this is the differential cage, and this is the bevel gear pinion and bevel gears. The power is from propeller shaft to give to the crown wheel, and that crown wheel allows to rotate the differential cage. When there is a straight road, then the power at crown wheel or the rotation or speed of the crown wheel will be the same as that at the rotation or speed at the both the rear wheels, left and right rear wheels. Okay, but when you have to make a turn, at that point what happens, the inner has to travel a slow distance. When this inner wheel is having slow speed, at that time this revolution capital N, this is the average speed of the vehicle, is the crown wheels rotation, and outer is average plus small n rpm. Okay, and here slower end is average minus small n rpm, and this is due to what's happened in that cage. This bevel pinion will transfer a power to this wheel and transfer a power to this axle, this inner shaft. Okay, both this shaft. Here this outer shaft will move faster. Because of this arrangement, the more power or more is transferred to the fast turning outer shaft, and the less or slow speed will be driven to the inner shaft. Okay, this can be achieved due to this arrangement. Here you will observe the inner details of the differential. Even you can observe in this 3D diagram, you will observe this is the propeller shaft model is shown, this bevel gear arrangement, this is the crown of the bevel differential, and these are the pinion bevel gear, and these are the bevel gears. Okay, this mainly this power is transmitted from cage to this pinion, and here the two axles are halves or making two parts, right and left, where the vehicle has to move. Suppose I have to move from this side, this will be the inner wheel, this will be the outer wheel, and this inner wheel has to travel less distance as compared to outer wheel. At that time more power, due to this bevel gear arrangement, more power is given to this side. Okay, and this differential enables to give different speed or different power to both sides of the wheels can be achieved. Okay, I think in this today's week, I think this much discussion is sufficient. In next week we are going to see what are the different types of differential and what are the different rear axles. Okay, that we are going to learn in the next week. But before that, we will revise what we have learned in this last 3 videos and this video. Okay, I will start from first. Okay, we have seen what is propeller shaft. Propeller shaft is an important mechanical element which is used to transfer power from gearbox to differential, and it uses universal joint and slip arrangement. Okay, here we have also seen the history of the propeller shaft, how the propeller shaft has evolved, why there is a need of propeller shaft, After that, we have seen the Renault of the France has modified this transmission. He has patented rear axle as well as propeller shaft and universal joint he has used. Okay, in that arrangement we have seen um, the function of the propeller shaft and how it is used. And after that, the torque tube type propeller shaft, in that case two arrangements are important. First is spherical ball arrangement and socket surrounding arrangement. These arrangements are important. The propeller shaft takes the load of the power transmission when there is a normal engine running, and the braking and acceleration torque causing sudden torque is taken by torque tube. The same thing in Hotchkiss propeller type. The normal power is transmitted through propeller shaft, but acceleration and braking shocks are taken by half of the rear leaf spring or through the link and arms arrangement. Okay, and there also a coil spring is used. Okay, that will be used to take the braking shocks or acceleration shock due to sudden stoppage. Okay, now we have seen the universal joint. Universal joint is used when the driver and driven shaft is having some angle. Okay, we have to transmit a power at angular shafts, and this is possible. Here we are using two universal joint. One is gearbox and propeller shaft, second is propeller shaft and differential shaft. Okay, here main problem is and the distance between the gearbox and the differential rear axle is same. Only you can manage, or you can compensate, or we can change the length of the propeller shaft with the help of slip joint. Okay, we have seen it. Just see the different universal hook joints. Okay, universal hook joint, first it is invented by Cordon, but again it is modified by the Robert Hooke, and because in previous case we are not getting constant velocity ratio, and getting constant velocity ratio means the power or speed at gearbox must be same at speed of the differential box or rear axle. Okay, that should be taken care by these joints. Here we have seen the 3D diagram of the universal hook joint. Already we have know the construction and working of universal hook joint. You have studied in second year mechanical engineering semester 1. After that we have seen the double Cardan universal joint. Here you will observe the two Cardan universal joint. Okay, these are having some spacing, and in between that spacing a special yoke points with special link is provided. That link is may having different varying speed, but the gearbox shaft and the rear wheel differential rear pinion or rear axle speed will be same. Okay, they should not be varied, and that arrangement is costly, but this produces a minimum noise and vibration. That's why it is more preferred. We have seen Bendix Wix universal joint, a spherical with different balls arrangements. Two split spiders are there. We have discussed this, as well as we have seen ball and truncation trunnion joint arrangement. We have seen ball and trunnion joint arrangement. We have seen and servicing of propeller shaft. We have seen how to check, how to make a service, what are the common causes and what are the remedies. We have seen, and in differential we have discussed the why there is a need of differential and how it works.